Hi, friends. Welcome to But Suddenly, the show where a group of friends create a sprawling script by taking turns to write a fresh section each week, continuing in turn until we run out of sci-fi tropes to rip off, or maybe just until we run out of accents to butcher. The first rule of Script Club is that none of us, barring the week's designated author, has a clue what's coming up. The tension will be palpable as we cautiously tread through almost certainly insensitive material. Not only do we go into the script blind, but this very introduction has been written before I, dear watcher, have been permitted to vet the words. Given that whoever wrote this has total control over what I say, seems like I've got off quite lightly. No silly voices, no incendiary comments, or references to how much I hate wit. Anyway, I digress. In episode 1, Adam bravely set forth to introduce us to a standout cast of would-be heroes, each possessing a strange and unique ability. Just as we were settling into this new world, Adam's allocated time was up, and the baton was passed on with the eponymous words, "But suddenly." And with that, Yola accepted the mantle, and we were whisked off on an adventure through time and space. We met new characters as the world took on a whole new facet, and we met a potential supervillain. Just as his time was coming up, well, Yola continued writing because he was 24 pages deep and Phil's character had yet to be introduced. Now it's the turn of Luke, taking up where Yola left off. Or will he take off where Adam left off? Or will he take us in a whole new direction entirely? Keep watching to find out.
Hey guys. Nicely done, Birch.
No, very, very nice, mate. I liked it.
Cheers, Phil.
I like the first rule of Script Club. I really like that.
It was lovely.
Yeah, very well done. I'm thoroughly looking forward to tonight. Very, very much looking forward to it.
I am nervous.
You shouldn't be, mate. It'll be great.
Well, it's my first proper contribution. Right, guys, we need to level. First of all, I need to level with you. I need to be really, really honest. It's not what I have done, dear Phil. It's what I haven't done. And what I haven't done is told the truth. Gentlemen and gentlemen, I wrote the majority of this today.
I thought you said you had 14 pages about 3 weeks ago.
I didn't want you on my back. And I was overwhelmed by pressure.
Very specifically 14 pages.
Yeah, 14 is very specific.
I was very specific with 14 pages, but
it's like
but
feasible,
you know
but it's
well.
not enough to do a session. Fair enough.
I know that Adam's kicking himself because he knew he sensed something was up. And Yola damn right did when I called him up earlier and said, "Yola, I've lied." And
I knew it.
he already knew.
We got there in the end, mate. We got there in the end.
Got there. Did it?
We're there. We've done it.
The pressure of a deadline was the
Yeah,
incentive
that's
you
it,
needed.
mate. I reckon you work better to a deadline. You always have.
I do work better to a deadline. It's but truth be told, last week I was super swamped. I wasn't throwing you a red flag. It was a rubbish work week.
That's absolutely fine. Mate. We got introduced to the debonair, so it was all worth it.
Oh my god, debonair!
All turned out well in the end.
Oh my god!
It's a grueling task. I mean, we've done this writing thing for like the entirety of lockdown, but like at least with that, it's like you're at your own whim. Like you can literally like, oh, I fancy writing. I've watched like a lot of X-Files. I'll write an X-Files-y type thing. Whereas in this one, literally like it's hard. It's very hard.
I think what worked for me the reason I work better like that is because if I do it mostly in one chunk, I don't get stuck in my own head and it seems to flow better. Whereas if I do it bit by agonizing bit, I can't see the full picture of the dialogue. I need to be in the moment with it really, and it has worked for me. And I to be honest, I always agonize about. Because you're all a funny bunch of boys, you're all a funny bunch of gents. And I always agonise that I really struggle with a lot of the humour. I feel like I'm a bit more deadpan sometimes, and I think I might have one or two shiny moments if you guys can do me the honour of bringing the fire to your performances.
Absolutely, I'm ready.
I must preface the with some apologies. You'll see why.
To which racial group?
I've not set anyone up for failure. There is no exclusion in any way or of any faith. In fact, I'm actually slightly more inclusive than anyone else has been, probably.
Can I ask a question as well about your process? You can say you want to save the discussion for later on if you want, but have you leaned into Adam's and or Iolo's previous scripts much, or have you just kind of taken it up as a jumping off point and done your own thing?
Both immensely.
Okay.
We continue the story where where Iolo began and where Adam finished.
Ooh, okay. That's kind of where I was hoping it would go, because I was hoping my tangent wouldn't go too far afield, really.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful that it's cut back.
I just felt like it was. Adam introduced the characters, and you introduced the rest of the characters. I will be introducing a couple more characters, but I mean that's for you to say how long they'll be in it for.
Kill them straight away. On the subject of that story, I think it deserves a decent recap. At this point, it's still quite easy.
Because I'm struggling to remember what's going on, so I think.
So who wants to do the
recap in the
transition?
intro. It was all right, I thought.
Yeah, I thought.
That's a baseline.
Yeah, I suppose
that's the extent of what that's the extent of what I remember, though. So.
Yeah, I know that's what I like as well. Do you want to go into more detail of a recap, or do you just want to go straight into it?
We could do that. We could do that.
I think so.
Only because I've got the recap transition there.
I sense that was where we were going. So if you've got the transition ready, then yeah.
Do you need a sound though?
Yes, please. I need a sound. I still haven't done sound. So Phil, are you on it?
I'm on it.
3, 2, 1, now. Oh wait. 3, 2, 1.
Mic at this point.
What? 3, 2, 1. Now. Yeah.
Should have just stayed silent the second time.
Perfect. Right. So what do you guys remember? I remember it quite well, only because I read Adam's first episode a lot in preparation for mine, and then I ended up just completely going afield. But my first intention was to try and find someone I could focus on so that Luke could carry on his 14 pages. So thanks for that, mate. I geared my entire episode for your 14 pages, and they didn't end up existing.
Well, they did. 4 pages of them existed.
Okay. So,
was one the title page?
No, it wasn't.
The first episode introduced us to what I then called the Five, but that easily can be changed. The Five were 2 strange people with even stranger powers who mysteriously woke up on a bus to a strange facility in the middle of the desert.
So let's go through the 5 quickly then. So there was Ted, who I remember very well because I was Ted. There was Zeep, who was played by Luke. There was Ramon, played by Iolo. And then there was Ellie Akora.
Who was played by Burge.
Come on.
Yeah,
I know. We all remember. And then Aaron.
Who is played by Adam.
Aaron Adon.
We also had the Colonel.
Had the Colonel briefly, yeah. And then Dr. Von Leichenberg.
Oh, he goes by Dr. L in this because I could not be bothered writing that full name.
I feel you.
Yeah.
That's why I introduced a nickname.
Yeah, it's a good nickname.
Gloriously by Burge.
Dr. L, it was fantastically played by Burge. Yeah. Oh my god, that was a highlight.
I'm kind of hoping this is just 27 pages of Burge being Dr. Leichenberg tonight.
Yeah. And now I shall read my diary.
I can enjoy it.
Can you all just for a moment consider that I never would be able to do a feat such as what Iolo does, where I write 50 pages in a day, but I had 4 pages at the start of this morning.
Fair play.
Impressive, man.
It's very impressive.
Yeah, fair play to you.
Yeah, as I say, but all the time, my writing style is very much quantity, not quality.
I wrote on the bus. I wrote during my lunch. It was all hands on deck.
Fair play.
Kudos.
Then, in the second episode of Burt's and Lee, we were whisked away from those 5, and on a desert mound in the distance, there were 2 even stranger characters monitoring their every move, ensuring that...
Arduous. Oh,
Arduous.
I loved him. I loved him.
Excellently played by Luke. And Skimp. Yeah, Skimp. Skimp?
Skimp?
Yeah, Skimp, I think it was. Skimp on Gravy. And he was excellently played as Adam, who took Surfer Dumbass to a whole new level.
Oh my gosh, it was... Dude. What impressed me about you doing Skimp, Adam, was that you maintained his accent through some quite choppy dialogues and some large sort of soliloquy type moments.
I think even I'd forgotten the way he spoke like halfway through it.
There was a couple of bits where I definitely dropped. And I was like, that's just my voice. And then he kind of like tried to weave it back in halfway through a sentence. Semi-successfully.
It's really difficult because like you try and picture these fictional characters called Arduous and Skimp, but because you know who's reading them, I only pictured like Luke and Adam. Like literally, like I just pictured you two just sat there. Those 2 characters bickered for a while before discovering a change to the timeline. So the timeline previous to that episode, Ellie had done something other than shake Dr. L's hand, and in this timeline she actually has shaken Dr. L's hand. So that is a deviation from the normal timeline. They then went back to base as the manual instructed, and met a registrar, again excellently played by Burge.
Hello.
Who took down their...
This was the registrar, the old woman who sounded absolutely nothing like an old woman.
In fairness to you, I'm pretty sure I don't describe her as an old woman until very much later.
I think my favourite quote from last week was, I'd never met an old woman. like what does an old woman sound like?
Yeah. God, I don't know what happened. Sometimes you just like... You see your name come up and you're like, well, this is the decision I've gone with. It's too late to do anything.
I reserve the right to change on a
whim. She took all their allocation number, allowed them into the Debonair's office.
Debonair.
The Debonair. The Debonair was is a sort of like the villain of this timeline. The timeline that has now been deviated from is ruled by the Debonair, who, after being defeated by the 5 twice, discovered the secrets of time travel and used it to dominate the entire world, took people hostage, and he has, because of his very sensitive nature, he has a very sensitive nervous system, he entrusts his entourage to inhabit aspects of typical supervillainy. So we had the Muscle, who did all the sort of like strongman crushing of objects that supervillains tend to do. We had the Mouth. Well, I played the Muscle. Luke played the Mouth, who was pretty much there just for an evil laugh and sometimes to sort of like be like the announcer. We had the Mind, played by Burge, who was the writer, who would write all his speeches and be sort of like generally the brains of the operation. We had the Minder, who was in charge with, in my mind, he was in charge with like the scheduling and like where the Debonair was to go and monitoring.
Wait, he was called the Minder.
Was he called the Minder? I changed that a lot. He was the Monitor.
Yeah, because
Monitor.
Yeah, because the Mind and the Minder.
Yeah, that's why I changed it. Because I got the idea for the rest of them from the Minder, so but then I changed it to Monitor. And then, obviously, the Debonair was absolutely brilliantly played by Phil. He nailed
Patrick
it.
Stewart.
The Debonair doesn't come back up because I can't actually remember what voice he did. So
it was Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
I think
it was kind
Anthony
of Matt Berry come Patrick Stewart. I think there's some kind of crossover.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Just as a note, I have recently watched the entirety of the new What We Do in the Shadows season 3 in one go, so I may or may not have channeled quite a lot of Matt Berry into the dialogue.
Perfect. Hopefully that's
We're all
all
vampires now.
Particularly for you, Mr. Bunn.
Twist. Cool.
Yeah,
So
and I think that's what.
just a quick recap as well. I know we did this last week, but what sort of the powers of the 5? What's like the bullet points for all of them? So Ted seems to traverse through physical time, so he's either old or young.
Yeah, Ramon was smells.
Something to do with aging. Ramon can conjure smells. Yeah.
Akora we don't know about Akora.
Unknown. Yeah.
Unknown.
Unknown in canon.
In canon. Yeah. Sure.
And out of some of us.
Aaron has spider-like features that are completely useless almost, and Zeep was also a mystery, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Officially.
Zeep was a mystery. But Luke's smiling, so he's done something with Zeep.
Zeep is no longer a mystery.
And I think where we left off though from second episode is that like the Debonair had whisked everyone away because he thought that the future 5 were responsible for the deviation from the timeline, and the last thing he did was open the jail cell which they were in. So we're either going to see what happened there, or we're going to be whisked away, and that can be revealed at another point.
I absolutely love that we're about to be 3 episodes in, and we're already in a space of juggling multiple timelines.
Oh my gosh.
That's where we are. We've got like a primary timeline and then the alternative timeline where the 5 are in prison. This is absolutely fucking bananas.
I've got to admit, I don't make this much better.
Contributing to the chaos.
In fact, I make it rather worse.
This is the one where the Terminator kills John Connor right at the start.
I was secretly hoping like through the week, because Luke had this idea last week, because like in the second episode a random guard gets thrown to like feudal Japan, and Luke had this idea of like following him, and I did secretly hope you'd done that, but I don't think you have. But it would have been so funny to follow this random guard in feudal Japan.
Hanging fruit there for Luke to latch at if he wanted.
Yeah,
I think that would be brilliant.
Was it series 2 of Heroes that did that?
Yeah.
It was like the first 3 episodes. It was like what?
Series 2 of Westworld as well seemed to dabble in feudal Japan. It's just a thing big shows do, apparently.
I really should have done that. It's been 2 years. Clyde has married Kumiko and fathered 7 children.
Right, should we get into it?
Are we ready?
Yeah, I will.
Sounds good.
Cover this, and I will play the old transition. Who wants to do the sound?
Adam, you're up.
Adam, 3, 2, 1. That's the best timed one thus far.
I've got to say that was vaguely reminiscent of something I may or may not have seen from Galaxy Quest.
Cool. Okay, I guess we'll start it. We've all got it open.
Yeah.
Luke, let's begin.
But suddenly, episode 3. Exterior, desert day. The sound of alarms wail cantankerously from hidden speakers while orange emergency lights spin around shutters and doors that line the facility, as bright and just as alarming in the hostile light of the desert sun. The group look around anxiously, peering out from the entrance to the horizon where Zeep has not yet moved.
This you?
Ramon, followed by the others, turns to ask the general, the colonel, you might see this a lot, the colonel, whose face is now stretched and eyes widened with concern. The colonel shakes his head.
No, get inside. This is beyond all of you. There's no time.
The gathered barely hear the general over the sirens. Aaron's face contorts as if he's noticed something. He turns on his heel to look to the west and squints his eyes.
Hey, Goro, what's wrong?
Ellie shouts as loud as she can in Aaron's direction, who is now between Zeep and the shutters. She cocks her head when he doesn't respond and marches over to him while protecting her ears with her hands. Aaron does not move, not a single muscle. He's perfectly still and almost catatonic.
What's wrong with the big guy? He's like frozen or something.
Zeep is stood a distance away from the group, his back turned. Small puffs of what appear to be sparks periodically burst from his front. Dr. L steps forward. His demeanour is as calm and extraterrestrial as before. He is wholly unfazed. The alarms stop abruptly.
Well, the good general may be overreacting, and I, of course, would enjoy the seeing of your reactions under extreme pressure once again. However, as stated earlier, you are safe while you are in the facility, but maybe the same cannot always be said about your being outside of the facility. And it seems they have noticed.
Dr. L waves his hand with regal pomp, still clutching a clipboard to his chest. Ramon and Ted slowly edge in his direction further into the entrance, but pause in the desert shadow of the monolithic doors.
We mean now, Nancy's.
The general beckons with his hand. Aaron stands statuesque with Zeep still in the far corner of the paddock, sparks still bursting from his front.
Sparkles, we gotta go.
Zeep stays himself, ignoring the others. No, it can't be. Not now, not already.
What are you seeing, Zeep? What did they show you?
What are you talking about, Doc? Bro's lighting up.
Everyone bar Ellie now have their attention on Zeep, who can be heard mumbling to himself in between outbursts of despair.
Hey, creepy Zeepy, you gonna share that spark, bro?
It's so good.
I can't remember his voice at all, so I'm just going. I'm going whatever.
I'm just certainly trying to know my territory at the moment.
Yeah, I know. I need to go. Mate, I haven't got a clue where I'm going.
Ramon walks towards Zeep as the alarms flare up again.
I implore we begin movement inside of the facility, where we will have more metaphysical protection.
Sparks shoot out from Zeep once again, this time more vivid and colourful, while the alarms seem to glitch, contorting their size, shape and colour. No one notices. They stop again.
Every single damn cycle. Listen, boy, you better turn heel right now and get your sorry ass inside this here hut. We lost you on the last cycle, and it seems you might have just goddamn done something right, and I ain't allowing for your showy off, you little damn camera tricks. Showy, was that right?
Yep, showy, perfect delivery. Dr. L shoots the colonel a sharp, knowing look. Look, it's in the same paragraph there, General Colonel. Dr. L shoots the colonel a sharply knowing look. The colonel steps back and shrinks, showing the real authority in this situation.
Photosynthesis. Isn't that right, ZP? Come to doctor. We go in and show your friends.
So, just to jump in, photosynthesis, he's pulling photos from thin air. Anyone? No?
I'll take it.
Okay, where was I?
The group look.
The group look confused at the doctor, then back to Zeep.
Look.
The doctor points towards Zeep, who turns around slowly, not making eye contact with the rest. He's sweating profusely, despite being out of the glare from the sun. In his right hand is a large wad of Polaroid photos. He throws them, cascading through the air toward the rest of them, who in turn reach down to pick one up. He looks at his clip. I don't know. I think that's not supposed to be there. Yeah, ignore that. He looks at his clipboard.
Okay.
Ted.
Oh, Polaroids. Didn't even realize you had a camera.
Zeep looks up. His jaw is clenched. Kind of, but also not really. Kind of.
We don't understand.
Zeep reaches out in front of him and snaps his fingers. Blue sparks erupt from his hand and he pulls down. Nothing morphs into warm orange and pink hues, and between his forefinger and thumb has manifested a Polaroid photo, smoking gently in his grasp.
Holy shit, amigo, you a wizard?
Harry. That was too quick.
That was cheap. It was so cheap. No, I can just pull them from the air. Sometimes they're just blank or out of focus, but sometimes they're not. And right now, they're showing things that aren't so great. Zeep casts the Polaroid to the floor, and it's picked up by Ted.
Well, ain't this a finely dressed man of substance?
That man's gonna kill you.
Something's coming. I can't tell what yet, but it's off on the horizon. Photo boy. Girl.
Boy.
You noticed it too.
You said he was androgynous. Sorry.
Fair play. It's fair. It's fair. And I like that clears us up now for the future as well. We've knocked that out of the head. It's good.
It's out.
Yeah. You noticed it too. I saw you twitch at a flicker of light in the distance. It got you real panicked. Like, way I see it, only reason we're all here is for effing Freakomaniacs convention. I can tell you're all getting together.
Freakonomics. Sorry.
Freakonomics. I apologize.
For the effing Freakonomics convention. Good book if you never read it. Ted shoots a sharp glance at the Colonel and Dr. L, who stand their ground.
There are others too, aren't there? I can sense it. Damn hairs on my body acting like a weird extra sight sensory-like thing. And the feeling I'm getting from the freaky, compatriots here, I can feel wider, further back inside your shack.
The rest of the group are visibly shocked at this and all face towards the Colonel and Dr. L, who stand at the threshold of the facility's entrance shutters. Above them, the light of the alarm still spins silently.
You mean there's people inside like us, Essay? Freaks like us?
He stamps on the floor and spits in their direction.
This ain't Pokemon Go, man. I ain't about to be collected. I see it like this. I wake up on a bus I didn't get on at, a facility I definitely didn't book into, with other freaks I don't even know. So unless I'm booked in for a massage, mud bath, and steamy jacuzzi with champagne and my best boy Rico, I want out.
Very nice. A hum begins to slowly fade in from the distance.
You won't make it, even if you run. Wherever's coming will be here before you make the first mile. I can't quite make out what it is, but these genes of mine giving me goddamn weird eyes, binocular-like. Along with the intermittent hum and the silhouettes on the horizon, we're looking at choppers, ground-based vehicles galore. Consider what we are. I expect whomever it is to be armed, well armed.
Ellie steps forward and touches Aaron on the shoulder. He looks at her, then pulls away with force.
What's your problem? I only meant to say it won't be so bad. There's us, and didn't you say there were others inside?
The Colonel shakes his head vigorously and disapprovingly, while Dr. L smiles from ear to ear, nodding his head.
I bet you $1,000,000 a facility like this. We're more than prepared, and between us can take whatever's coming.
Are you shitting me? These guys will have rifles, grenades, tactical missiles, laser-targeted mounted turrets, swords, knives, sharp sticks, and there's us. A man who ages, me, a 6-armed freak with a slightly better than average vision, a human camera, shit for breath, and whatever it is you do.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what I do, but bullets are absolutely my weakness. And definitely sharp sticks, if nothing else.
What do I do? I'll show you what I can do.
A purple aura begins to emanate from within her chest outwards, and sparks of electricity race through her fingers.
Friends, we are all friends here. Telling truth, you have been here before. You are here right now, and you will arrive here again for the first time tomorrow. Believe me when I say, and I completely understand the magnitude and scope of what I am saying. Come with us inside, and all will be revealed.
Apart from the loudening hum in the distance, is loudening a word?
I was thinking that.
It's not correct. Apart from the loudening hum in the distance, a faint helicopter blade. Apart from the loudening hum in the distance, a faint helicopter blade whirring. You can hear a faint helicopter blade whirring. Everyone stands silent. Almost a full minute passes before someone speaks. I don't buy it. Not one bit. I've seen the pictures. This doesn't have a good ending.
Son, if you stay out here, it won't end any better.
The general spits on the ground, and a thick wad of chewing tobacco collides with the sand, kicking up a small dust ball.
If it makes it any better, this is the 19th time I've done this, and I'm still only just quite getting the picture. Still not quite sure if I have.
The glow leaves Ellie, and she regains her composure. She walks slowly over to Dr. L and the Colonel, with her eyes squinting in frustrated uncertainty.
What then? We come inside, you explain all this nonsense bullshit, then what? We all go home, wake up in our bed, live happily ever after.
Many look down at their feet. all knowing that the fates are sealed.
Or is this it? Is this us stuck in loops or some shit?
She looks at Zeep, then back to Dr. L defeatedly.
No families, no friends, no doing anything that isn't absolutely dedicated to this. No, it's not for me. Not for me at all.
The other four nod in agreement, Zeep included.
Fine. Let's do this the hard way.
Oh, nosies.
Amazing.
Oh, noses. Oh, we're clipping that.
From out of the entrance to the facility run soldiers in single file. They run around either side of the five, enclosing them inside a circle, and stop abruptly when they meet. They are surrounded.
Colonel, I don't believe this is necessary. We already know the divergence has actualized.
Which is precisely why it is necessary. We've got a bunker full of these freaks, Doctor. And considering we have no idea what's coming next, I aim to take every single preemptive, proactive, cautionary step.
The Colonel raises his arm. The soldiers raise their weapons. The Colonel lowers his arm. Projectiles set up on the five like a wave of murder hornets. Fade to black. Interior, cell number 2, day. Ooh, I've already found a discrepancy. I've doubled over on the cell numbers. Interior, cell number 2, day. Eyes open, in shock. The pupils are dilated and unfocused. They move side to side, trying to focus on something. They do. The pupils contract and the eyes stop, still focusing. We pan away to see an old man behind bars. He is ancient. His hair is thin and wiry and his skin hangs off his face. He looks gaunt and malnourished. He looks beyond the bars to a wall in front of them, plain and nondescript.
Easy, easy. You've been out for at least a day. I imagine you all have.
Bill is a towering monstrosity of vines, strung together to vaguely look humanoid in shape. His eyes are tiny and sit in giant sockets disproportionately. His mouth seems made from vines, which part when he speaks, where his something in I can't read. He's sat above on the upper portion of a bunk bed. That's writing on the bus for you. He's sat on the top of a bunk bed.
Here, let me help you. I'm Bill. Well, I was Bill. Now I'm not really sure what I am. What to call myself.
Ted, nice to meet you.
Go back.
What?
You're ancient, Ted.
Oh, sorry.
Wispy.
Well, we all ancient, okay.
Wispy.
Ted, nice to meet you.
Oh yeah, we got old man Tokens.
That's better. That's better.
Sorry, director.
Ted takes Bill's tentacle-like hand and climbs to his feet with difficulty.
You okay? Can't quite think why they'd have an old man locked up with the rest of us.
I know, right?
Let me guess. There were 5 of you, all seemingly unconnected, all with abilities of some kind.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. What did you say your name was again?
Bill.
Winston? Perfect. Winston. Winston,
Words are colliding.
my friend, have you seen my shoes?
Shoes, Ted. I'm sorry. I'm not sure I take your meaning.
Is this in the same universe?
No. What's going
I
on?
mean, Bert's going to set up. Bert's going to set up. It's the only
Crossover event.
Oh, God.
Ted, now on his feet, walks slowly over to where Bill sits on the bunk bed.
Listen, son. Where?
Ted sees Bill for what he is and falls backwards into a small metal sink in the corner and smacks his head. He howls in pain.
Your foot? Why 14?
Your foot, as his head hits the sharp edge of the sink, the impact is visible on his body like a shockwave. His hair rejuvenates, and his long and sleek. What? And what? His hair
And it's long and sleek.
rejuvenates, and he's long and sleek. Yeah, his wrinkles straighten out, and a twinkle twinkles in his eye.
Blimey, I thought I had it bad. Luke put his clan name Y4T in the reference to your clan there, mate.
Interior, cell number 4, day. 2 men can be seen from above. Ramon stands next door, wolf-like man, covered in clearly brushed hair over his body, in the middle of the cell they are in. Sorry, I don't know what happened with the thing there.
Oh, is that you?
Okay,
Adam?
are you ready?
Born ready.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow, this is the bit I don't know what, singing? I'm gonna be a mighty king, so enemies beware.
You must know the song, y'all. Come on.
What is it?
Well, I've never seen a king or beast with quite so little hair.
Oh, no way, I have no idea what this is. Could someone else help me? Could someone Ramon me for a second?
Phil, you can do it.
I don't know what it is.
I'm going to be the main event like no king was before. I'm brushing up, I'm looking down, I'm working on my roar.
Thus far, a rather uninspiring thing.
Yola, that was.
I don't know this song.
Lion King, isn't it?
It is the Lion King.
Oh, I literally just got it. Oh, I just can't wait to be king. What the fuck, mate? Oh my god, I haven't got a clue. I am not familiar with songs.
It was funny that you didn't know it, to be honest.
I'm fucking sausage.
How dare
Not
you?
a clue.
Interior, cell number 3, day. We see Zeep sat on the toilet, pants round his ankles. A slender man sits on the lower bunk bed. His hair is jet black and slicked back over his head. His skin looks moist with beads of water dripping down his face in gentle rivets over his pasty exterior. He wears a patchwork suit with a red arm and a blue, the torso green and his pant legs blue and orange respectively.
You can do it then.
Well, I can't bloody go. Oh, sorry, Zeke looks mortified. I can't bloody go with you watching me.
I'm not watching anything.
Zeke looks impossibly more mortified. Please, I've had a really tough day so far. I just need a wee.
Oh, I get it. Stressful day, out in the sun, loved the new friends. Just want to make a good first impression.
Garth stands up and reaches out his hand. Water trickles from his outstretched fingers. Don't stand up. Oh, no.
It's okay, sunshine, don't mind me. Just making a new acquaintance. It's good. I'm Garth.
Zeke furls his hair and stares into the abyss.
Shy guy. Well, don't worry, Biscuit. There's nothing to worry about with little me. Just pretend I'm not here.
Please sit down. I can't. Could you turn around?
But we haven't shook hands yet. It's terribly important when making new friends. Or aren't we, friend?
Leave it.
That's great. I love it.
And Zeke's face agonises over his predicament. If I shake your hand, will you please turn around and let me...
We? Oh, definitely. Once our bond is sealed, then you will have just all the privacy you will ever want.
Zeep stares at him. He reaches out into the ether and whips a Polaroid into existence. He looks at it, smiles, and tears it into tiny pieces. Okay, why not? Zeep exhales a huge sigh and reluctantly shakes his hand. As Zeep takes his hand, colours and flashing images ricochet in his mind. He shakes and a wave passes through his body and he vomits onto his pants. He hears a voice in his mind.
That's it, ZP. We're friends forever. Me and you and me. Connected at the brain. Forever.
Zeep stares, recalling the picture of Garth's mutilated corpse. Well, no idea when that'll occur. Well, fuck. Cut to interior, cell number 2. It shouldn't be cell number 2. It should be a number that I've a different number. Ellie's lay on a bunk bed on the bottom. On top lies another woman, thin appearance, whom is weeping. They are mid-discussion.
I'm sure you'll see your dad again.
Dog.
Southern Belle, Philly.
That was a Southern Belle.
That was pretty good, Southern Belle.
No, sorry. I'm just making sure you've read the cue.
I got the note.
He's read it loud and clear, I think.
Cindy continues to cry and speaks through her tears.
Please, Cindy, can we talk about this place? Been awake for hours and you haven't stopped crying about your dad.
Cindy leans over the edge of the bunk bed and stares at Ellie as tears drop across her forehead into her hair.
Ellie, please. This isn't an emotional time for me. Basnet will be roaming the streets. It took me a week ago when I was out for a walk.
She sobs, still hanging over.
Yeah, no, I know. You've been here for a week. How have you been here for a week?
Oh, honey, sorry, no. I guess it's been 7 days, but it's been 1 day.
Ellie jumps out from her bed, almost hitting Cindy in the face.
What do you mean? The Giant said something like that too. Loop cycles or something.
Oh, yeah, it's real complicated. Like somebody's messing with time, the doctor said. But there's rumors in here that, like, protect you from it or something. He said brief as every day we arrive. I'm not sure how it works. I think it's something like I am me. There's other me's out there. And there's other ones of all of us.
Cindy spots Ellie's contorted face, thinking she doesn't believe her.
No, go on, please. Sorry, it's just all a bit much to process.
Okay, where was I? Oh, yeah. Like, there's only one doctor, though. He's like our X-Man.
X-Man? Professor X, got it.
Yeah, we have all these abilities. Oh, what's yours, by the way, darling?
Please, Cindy, just tell me and we can go over it then.
Doc said they're waiting for something to happen. A sign or something. Then he can leave the loop and follow that there thread.
Cindy has stopped crying. She appears to be feeling better and more confident as Ellie's face looks slightly impressed.
Shit, wow, thanks. Very informative. Whoa.
No problem, Sugar. I do have a PhD in microbiology. It's a few fields over, but I think I get it.
I don't know what's happened to that page there. Interior, cell number 1, night. The cell we see is almost pitch black. 2 silhouettes can be seen from behind the bars.
Bars.
I already love Donald.
You read it. No. I don't understand why nothing's happened. They were on their way and almost a day's gone since we've been in here. No food, not even guards.
Your belly?
Donald, I'm not fucking playing I Spy. This is a serious time, and I'm a serious man.
You did say below. Look, and I was quite for ages before. You owe me a game.
Fucking hell, Donald. We're trapped in here like fucking animals. You want to play games.
But there's nothing else to do, is there?
Nothing else? I don't know. Plan our escape. Try to gain a fucking modicum of insight into what the fuck is going on.
Aaron, you're angry.
Of course I'm fucking angry. I'm in here with you and you've had absolutely fuck all to say except tell me about your coin collection and how you find humid weather slightly inconvenient.
Wow. I wish I'd been locked up with one of the others instead.
What do you mean others?
Anyone else. Plant guy, slimy guy, wolf guy, girl guy.
Girl guy? And what's your special denomination?
Oh, me?
I am...
This is me, sir.
Sorry, mate.
Sorry. I am one-armed guy.
One-armed guy. One fucking armed guy. Does your wrist at least shoot off, explode on impact?
Whoa. No, not exactly. I go like this. Shush. Sorry, after you.
He makes punching gestures and noises to accompany them.
Shush. Hiya.
What is that?
It's my punching powers.
Punching powers. Right.
No. It's actually really cool. They put me up in an illegal fighting ring in downtown Tokyo. fighting other dudes with cool powers.
Buddy, you've got one arm. That's not a power, it's a disability.
I don't agree. A disability is a gateway to other abilities.
Donald lifts his arm aloft. Nothing happens.
Fantastic.
No, watch.
Donald's arm begins to pulsate. It starts to glow an iridescent green and fades in and out of dull flashes before abruptly bursting in growth. It expands and pulsates until it's the full length of his body and almost as wide.
Punch powers!
Fucking, that's another one. Note clip.
Cut to interior hallway night. We see a long dark corridor. There are 10 cells spaced vastly apart. Their white bars are the only indication that they're there. A huge illuminated double door at the far end comes into focus. Machine lights come to life and a warning alarm bleats. Clacking sounds accompany the slow opening of the metallic doors. The cell doors fly open simultaneously and the alarm stops. Warning, warning. Operation Portcullis will commence in 10 minutes. Repeat. Warning, warning. Operation Portcullis will commence in 10 minutes. All participants in Block A proceed to the court. Prepare. Defend. Skill set. Die. Static tones interfere with the voice, and it fades out while the static continues over the intercom. The lights of the corridor beam on, illuminating the hallway with a blinding light. Then, suddenly...
Whee!
That was awesome, Luke.
That was good, mate. That was really
Nice
funny.
one, man.
I enjoyed that. I just saw the single syllable word. I was like, I'm going for this. But I was a bit worried. But then I realised I was kind of sort of treading on Burgess' toes with Garth, so I need to go even more like monotone and stupid with him. But it just about worked for what he'd written for him, though. So I just rolled with it.
It was really well done. I loved every portrayal. Burge, I did not expect you to go like full Cockney kind of.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Grant was great. I loved him. How dare you make me sing a song that I don't even know?
Yeah, man. Singing.
That's cruel. I will get my revenge on you for that, buddy. You will be singing operas in my next one.
What are you talking about? Shut your mouth. That was revenge for 3, 2, 1, 7, 5, 9, 9.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's fair.
7, 7, 6, 3, 4, 5, 7.
That's fair.
How dare you?
Mate, honestly, like, I am laughing my tits off.
Adam, you're free to bring it back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Revenge will be sweet.
As a fan of the language, I was all for it.
There was a certain appeal. Honestly, I'm laughing my tits off to a certain degree because I know you wrote that on a bus. And literally, all the little things no, wait, that's not how that sentence goes. Honestly, mate, I loved it. Oh, that made me laugh so hard. All these little things. Oh, I loved it, mate. Genuinely loved it. That was fun.
I put loads of little references in. I don't know if anyone picked any of them up. Did you get the aliens reference? Anyone?
Nope.
No, I've missed an aliens one.
Burge? Oh, when he's listing all the different equipment. Do you remember in the scene when Ripley's with all the Marines and he's like, we've got tactical nukes, knives, chopsticks. Hudson's saying it to... Oh,
Yeah.
Game over, man.
I was, exactly. I was more than proud of that. And when it fell on deaf ears, I died a little inside.
I like the reference to Winston though. Sorry, no, carry on, Butch.
Oh, yeah, the Winston fucking.
No, just I think part of the thing is putting references in, is that everyone's so concentrated on their own thing and saying their own lines, so they're like, shit, when's my next line coming out?
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true.
It is inherently terrifying. All of a sudden, I just saw in brackets singing, and I was like, "You absolute knob!" Why do I do it? So can I? Okay, I want a summary of the new characters, right? Just so that we can know where to go forward with them. I love Giant Arm Man. He's reminiscent of our old stuff, Luke, with Test Subject X. Do you remember that guy?
That's who it is.
Yeah,
that's
I thought
who
it
it
was
is.
to be. Yeah, that's cool. That. And
You got Bill, the old ancient old man who was in with Ted.
The Vines guy.
But he's made of vines. He's just made of vines. He's a plant.
Right. So Ted was Ted was in his ancient form.
I get the slimy guy. He's like just slimy, and then he kind of gets into your mind.
Yeah, I didn't gauge Slimy Man. Where was Slimy Man?
That was Garth.
Garth was Slimy Man. Okay.
He's with the Colonel.
Yeah. Essentially, my idea behind him was that he he's a bit of like a parasite. Is his power, and he kind of like makes a psychic bond with someone and drains them of sort of what they are, and Zeep thinking he's seen the photo that he's gonna die, so he's like, oh, why not? But then he realizes that, well, he doesn't actually know when that's gonna occur, and he's just bought himself into this disgusting relationship where this Garth can speak to him.
Iolo, don't we have a transition for this section?
Oh, we do.
Son of the beach.
Phil, are you do a sound, or anyone else want to do a sound?
I think it's
I'll
Burge's
go for
turn,
sound.
isn't it?
Go for Luke.
Yeah, no, let Burge do
One of
it.
you
No,
two.
I can
Burge.
always do it. Burge, you're on.
3, 2, 1. Excellent.
Okay.
Even
Got
his
it.
sounds are the best.
You've got Wolf Guy, who
Yeah.
I went into no description about at all.
And just sang Lion King to my
He sang the
detriment.
Lion King to Ramon. My thoughts were that he was that they were both like Hispanic together, and they were both loved singing,
Bonding.
and they might have bonded over a bit of Disney in the cell, and everyone, like, other people were having a bit of a miserable time, but Ramon was having a hell of a time.
And then we've got Cindy, who's very sad
Yes, Cindy.
about her dog.
I didn't give Cindy a power. I left that one open.
Cool.
The women
And-
don't get powers. That's
That's the
Go back to the
message.
introduction.
Well,
I've got a transition for that, actually. Give you a second. The
my thoughts
message.
with Ellie, because if you remember, she went a bit purple, and electricity flickered through her fingers. Adam had it kind of like ghost-like, and I didn't dislike that, but I wanted her to have. I felt like Ellie should probably have a proper power. You know, because if they're going to be getting into situations, when I say a proper power, I mean a more offensive power, like one that can cause untimely destruction, where where the rest of them have something that might be useful in situations. Go on.
I just had an idea for offensive power, but it wouldn't be good for stream. Where, like, literally, like, it would just offend a certain group of people. But no, we shouldn't go down that route.
No, I had machinations of making her have building back on the ghost aspects of having her like be able to summon hordes of spirits to destroy things, and then I had machinations of having her literally have electric powers, but I already got to mess around with Zeep's photosynthesis, so
That's so cool. I love the photo power. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
That's
cool. It's good.
Really cool. I love that it like plays on my bit in the first one as well. That he's got like the little stack of photos. So that was top.
yeah. So
It's
the
a little
idea is
twist.
that he pulls photos from the ether, and they have something on them. So whether it's like a message for the future, so hypothetically he could be sat there, bullets being shot at him, whip out a photo, and he'd be like, "Far corner." But obviously, if people want to change that in some way, that's fine. But yeah, that was what my idea with Zeep is. Maybe the pictures aren't always useful, but sometimes they are.
It's like less control over it, really.
Yeah,
I like
I don't think I think you shouldn't have control over it, because at this stage no one's really got control over it. We've not really
Yeah, that's fair.
had. And what my intention was to set up, feel free to completely change, is that obviously they've been knocked out and they've been put in these cells, and essentially they're being put through a bit of a gauntlet to kind of force them to realize the powers in some way.
But I do not envy anyone having to deal with like the new time stuff that's going on.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah. Okay. So what I am. So essentially, I decided to just go a bit wacky and have Dr. L be the. So there are many timelines, but Dr. L has access to them all. Dr. L, there's only one Dr. L, full stop, full time, full stop. No.
I don't know. I feel like you're projecting onto future scripts there, and that might not
potentially, but
yeah.
Way.
So just to clear it up though, so is your thinking with what you've written there that that Zeep and that Ellie, etc., that's like the continuation of episode 1? That's them having gone into the facility and they've been locked up, or is that jumping back to Yola's where they're in prison there? Like what's
Both.
where have you gone?
So essentially, yours has taken place, and then Ellie has shaken the general's hand. She's shaken the general's hand, and this has happened as a result of that. So this is that central current timeline. But we've been given note that there are other timelines, and that they were that the colonel, or this iteration of the colonel, this colonel, because the colonel.
Oh, is it the general?
The general. No.
Now, when you mean colonel, do you mean general or colonel?
The general colonel.
Yeah.
We got promoted in one timeline, but not another.
They've been waiting for this, and that's why the colonel took them into custody, as it was, rather than walking them in nicely. I imagine that in other timelines they've all been walked in nicely, and it's been a bit different. But this is the the dangerous timeline. This is the one where that's got everyone got the debonair and everyone up in a fuss.
But are they looping though? Because you make reference to cycles. So are they in a loop?
So I imagined that the Dr. L somehow has access to this to these loops, because obviously the debonair is having everything on loop constantly, because they're going through these cycles. I imagine that technology, because obviously they're the bad guys, the good guys have somehow, intelligence or something of such, have had access to this in some way or shape, or maybe Dr. L's an interdimensional being that's open for someone else, but essentially he's been waiting for a change, because every other timeline is the bad timeline where they get captured and they die, and something to that effect.
We're 3 episodes in, we've got a time war on our hands.
Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed.
Oh my god, it's so complex now. So
whose fault was that though? Whose fault was that?
Yeah, but I tried to sideline so that you could carry on, and I literally presented a dying timeline is what I thought. But my idea was that the main timeline progressed as normal, and that the debonair was outside the timeline to a degree, just dotting people along it, just to sort of make sure that things are going as planned.
And this is the one that's not gone as planned.
Yeah, that's fine. But I thought they were. Didn't you mention that they said that they had arrived on the bus many times before? Is that referencing
yes, because
different instances of themselves?
Yes, because if the Doctor is central, if he's got access to between the timelines, essentially my idea was that he doesn't lie to them. He's a man of substance, and he tells them all exactly what's happening and exactly what's going on, so that at no point is anyone in the dark. So she doesn't Cindy has she doesn't experience all the other loops, but she's aware of them all.
So it's kind of like Dr. L has plucked them all out of the timeline now.
Yeah, and I imagine that this would be the timeline he stays in now, rather than going to and between all the other different ones. This is his central timeline.
Sorry, is Dr. L a male, and I've just completely fabricated that it's a female in my own head for some reason?
I should be a male.
I thought it was a man.
Yeah.
Oh, then
was Burgess reading not male?
Was it specified or?
I don't think it's specified, but.
I think I referred to it as he a couple of times. I think
maybe you did. I honestly, in my headcanon, Dr. L was female.
From the page or from Burgess reading?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I just picture it.
Weird if it was from my reading. That's
I wanted that voice to be a woman. I'm so inherently attracted to it.
Another timeline where they're all the opposite sex.
Maybe so. Because I don't think I ever referenced it in my episode, but honestly, in my headcanon, Dr. L was female. But
cool.
Never mind. That's just another thing.
Can I ask a question about the script as well?
Go on.
Did the other people in the cells, I don't know whether this came up, do they know that the 5 are different in some way, called the 5, or did that?
My idea for that was that they don't know that they're any different. They don't know that they're special. They don't know anything. Essentially, that the Colonel and Dr. L have been have carted all these people out here as a way of pushing everyone to manifest what abilities need to be manifested. But again, that's all up for. This was just, because I needed to have a purpose behind everyone's actions as to why the who's, the where's, the why's, the what's. And I thought this facility out in the middle of nowhere, it would be remiss if I don't know if it wasn't for more than just the 5, if they were waiting for them, or maybe it opens room for maybe they weren't the first 5, or maybe the 5 is just a name and the 5 are different people every time. It's just a group of 5 people with abilities.
So in this timeline now, is Dr. L, the male, is he aware of like the future and how it's meant to pan out, or is he not aware of the future? He's just aware that this timeline is somehow different.
I don't think he's aware of the future.
Was he like extrapolated stuff from Zeep's photos at one point, or?
Yeah, he's looked at the photo. I think maybe he knows. Wait, hang on. He knows of the futures to come, which is why he's doing this little interdimensional loop, and he's waiting for the one similar to, I suppose, to Doctor Strange. He's waiting for the one timeline that's got the right set of events,
I get it.
Or a different set of events.
So it's kind of like combating the fact that Debonair's commandeered the future. He's like essentially like laying wait for the timeline to change, and then he's grabbed those people to Okay.
And if you remember, one of the lines that I gave to Burge was that if we go inside, it's got more metaphysical protections. And then Cindy later says that there are rooms in here that are separate from the timelines.
This has gotten so complicated in 3 episodes.
Stepping out of time. Do you know, like you had the Debonair, you had them step into a portal and they were out of time.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. I just love it. I love how complicated it's gotten.
The thing is, it's getting like more complicated by degrees each week, so presumably next time it's just going to be.
But the thing is, it's nothing.
It's dinosaurs in space.
It's nothing that can be like stopped, but I quite like it as well because it is a good way of like having strange things happen. And then you can always go back to like the original timeline that was like, because we've got a good timeline. We've got a bad timeline that ends in the Debonair. We've now got Dr. L in the good timeline actively fighting the bad timeline from happening. It's going to be fun. I don't envy 2 of you who are next.
I'm just waiting for whoever goes next to sidestep into a schmaltzy rom-com somewhere else. Great.
Yeah, 100%.
So
more characters.
So Phil did mentioned in text, but like did you have any preference as to?
Basically, I would say if we're on for next week, because I know Burge, you weren't sure. If you're on for next week, if you're up for doing it, that'd be great. If it's 2 weeks, then that'll give me a bit more of a buffer, and I'd be up for it. So, does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
So, if you reckon you can get one out for next week, and if you're available next week, then maybe you do it. If not,
I think I might be at Spa Hotel next week.
Okay, cool. Should we say 2 weeks, and I'll have a crack at it then?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Oh God.
I was hoping Burge was up for it. I'm so glad I've got 5 weeks now.
I could do it next week, but not on Thursday. So we could do it if we did it Wednesday. I could do it then.
Yeah, that'll keep things rolling, I guess, wouldn't it? Because funny enough, I'm at a meal on Thursday, but I'll probably be home about 7:30. So Wednesday will probably work better for me as well, if that's good for you guys.
Yeah. talking personal plans on the internet.
Yeah, I was thinking that to
that's
myself.
definitely
Like,
plans on the-
thanks
on-
everyone. I think that's our stream now. Goodbye.
You know that final transition, Yellow?
Oh, do you want one last transition? You can. There's already sound for this one because this is the music.
Oh, can I do one anyway?
Yeah, you can do one anyway. You just like scat along to the music if you'd like.